Hello, we're back once again at Golden Seed and meeting Mahmoud Eltanbouly. Hi, good morning in Arabic. Hi,
What about me, perhaps? Do you think
I think that's not the case with your company. A lot of time to work on site, but you have a good example of work in this area. I think that's really important. How do you start working in this area and what projects are you currently working on? Agriculture, business, and what's the situation exactly? What are you currently doing right now?
Hi, Victor. We're really glad you're here with us in Egypt. Welcome. First, my name is Mahmoud Eltanbouly. I've been working in agriculture for over 27 years since I started my career. In 1995, after I graduated from the agricultural faculty, I worked at one of the largest companies in the Egyptian agricultural sector, dealing with potatoes and other crops, and I was there for a long time, about 25 years. After that, I decided to successfully and efficiently initiate my business in the year 2020 during a challenging time. I opened Golden Seeds, and we're interested in trading potatoes from Europe and the UK.
You have a lot of experience working with potatoes, and I'm really curious about how the potato system is changing in Egypt. Maybe how the potato market has changed, and what have you seen in Egypt over the last 5 years? What has changed?
Potatoes are a very important crop for Egypt. It's been grown here for a very long time, maybe since 1940, 1945, 5494 Ropai. After the end of World War II, it's an important product. I remember that in the late 90s, the volume of the Egyptian market was the volume fluctuated between 50, 60,000 tons. In Egypt, we rely on importing potatoes from Europe. In the late 90s, the market volume was about 50, 60,000 tons. The market is growing and developing every year, in my estimates, by at least 5%. We have now reached this point. The volume of potato seed imports from various countries in the European Union and the UK is about 130, 140,000 tons. 2040. The Egyptian market is growing every year, and potatoes are a key crop for us because they are part of the local consumption for the citizens of Egypt. There's local demand here. When it comes to export and production, the level of processing in Egypt is very high. The number of factories opening today is growing every day and every year. When it comes to processing potatoes like French fries, chips, starch, and other products, processing is very important for the Egyptian market right now. The volume of barley exports is also increasing year by year. I think we've reached about 1 million tons. We were very close to the figures from the previous export season for Egypt. Potatoes are a crop that adds value to the agricultural products exported from Egypt. It's considered number one in exports among vegetables, and it's regarded as the second most important crop among agricultural products after citrus. It's a very important crop for Egypt, both at the local consumer level. After citrus, the volume is 10,000 tons. This is a very important crop for Egypt, both at the local consumer level. From the perspective of food security for the citizens, this crop is very important for maintaining a safe and healthy level of nutrition for the Egyptian population. This is an important product for both export and processing. I want to tell you that in Egypt we have the climatic conditions that allow us to grow potatoes. We grow two main seasons. The first season is for imported seeds. The first season, or the first planting, is for the seeds that we import. And the second season is for locally produced seeds. We take seeds from the harvest that we grow from imported seeds around November and December. We harvest from May to June to produce seeds for the next planting in September and October. This is a relative advantage for the climate in Egypt, as we can produce potatoes twice a year. The second part, regarding seed production, depends on the consumption of potatoes or their cultivation. In Egypt, we rely on importing potatoes from various countries in Europe and the UK.
I see. So the situation in Egypt is changing. I know that it's a well-known situation. In Egypt, this is the point. And now in Egypt, there are signals coming from Hermes in France, as well as from other countries regarding potatoes. Just the market for this company. Around the world, what varieties are needed? I mean, I hope that you come with resistance to scab and late blight, as well as other issues related to thermal processing and possibly different varieties. What's the problem if a new company wants to start its operations in Egypt? Do you have a good understanding of the market situation in Egypt? Do you have experience working in the Egyptian market?
If a company wants to start its operations in Egypt, what does it need to understand? What things need to be considered? As I mentioned, in Egypt, the volumes right now range from 120 to 140,000 tons, depending on the situation in Europe and the needs of the Egyptian market. As for the potato variety map, or the potato variety chart for Egypt, it has changed. In Egypt, there were very well-known varieties, and this map has changed. New varieties have emerged because we have always been connected with the countries of the European Union. New varieties are constantly emerging, developed through breeding programs, and they are being tested. When it comes to climate conditions, it's very important for us, especially for our company, Golden Seeds, to conduct experiments. We collaborate with some European companies and receive new varieties from the UK for testing here in Egypt. These are long-term experiments. To determine which variety can grow well in Egyptian conditions, it takes at least 3 to 5 years before we can say that there is a direct impact showing whether this variety might be in demand in the Egyptian market or not. This is the direct impact that we are observing, and I was doing this at my previous job and I continue to do it now. As for potato varieties, the variety map has changed. There are very popular varieties for local consumption, like Spunta and Kara. But right now I can say that Spunta is the best option for farmers. Right now it's the Kara variety. This is a very old variety in Egypt and it's really good, which is why Egyptian farmers prefer it for several reasons. The Kara variety, first of all, is the one that farmers prefer compared to Spunta. The Kara variety is a high-yield variety that is significantly more resistant to diseases, especially to late blight. This variety handles the heat well compared to Spunta. The variety has very low losses or waste compared to Spunta. The resistance of the Kara variety is better than that of Spunta. Today, Kara is not just for local consumption, but it's also starting to enter the local market, especially for Kara. We can add that it has also begun to be exported. Some African markets and other markets today are demanding the Kara variety for export. This is a variety that is suitable for both local consumption and export. Sometimes when there is a shortage of production varieties, they take the Kara variety and try to use it for processing, like in chip production and potato snacks. Varieties like Spunta will fare worse than before. Kara is in demand due to technical reasons, offering good profits. Halal varieties exist. Finding good sorting opportunities for production varieties is challenging. The Kara variety is currently in high demand because of the technical reasons I mentioned, which provide good profits for Egyptian farmers. As for halal varieties, they do exist. When it comes to production varieties, it's not so easy to find a good opportunity for sorting. Production varieties still don't have much diversity. When it comes to production varieties, it's not so easy to find a good opportunity for sorting. Production varieties still don't have much diversity. Production varieties are very limited for Egypt, especially for chip production. We rely on varieties like Lidrosita or the Hermes variety. These are important varieties used in chip production. But we also have limited varieties for French fries like Santana, Diamond, and Innovator. I mean, it's expected that in the upcoming period we will be able to rely more on varieties like Kara. I think Spunta will face a significant decline in the Egyptian market. If we talk about the next 5 years, we can expect a decrease in demand for Spunta potatoes and Kara potatoes. As for the varieties, I've been working in agriculture and the seed potato business for 25 years. Finding a variety isn't easy because there are a lot of criteria you look for in terms of sugar content, dry matter, and shape. There are a lot of criteria to consider at the factories. In the next 5 years, I think the variety map will be the same as I mentioned for French fry chips. The local market, as I mentioned, may remain in Egypt, but only for export. Working in agriculture and the seed potato business, it's not easy to find a variety because there are a lot of criteria you look for, like sugar content, dry matter, and shape. There are a lot of criteria to consider at the factories. In the next 5 years, I think the map of production varieties, as I mentioned, for French fries and chips may stay in Egypt, but only for export.
The question is, what do you see in the future for your company to take a positive position? And for the person watching this video, they might want to reach out to your company or get in touch with you. You might want to invite someone to collaborate with your company.
What do you want to say about this? Regarding Golden Seed, we started working in 2020. We're developing the business, and our scale is growing every year. In the next 5 years, we aim to increase our market share, especially in open varieties of potatoes like Spunta, Cara, Hermes, and Idrosita. Since 2020 up to the current season, we've reached 2,000, 3,000 tons. We aim to increase our volumes and market share thanks to the high quality of our seeds. As for free varieties, potatoes come in both free and protected varieties. We work with open varieties like Spunta, Cara, Hermes, and Idrosita. We hope that in the next 5 years, we can increase our market share, both for golden seeds and for our scale. If we talk about what we started with in 2020, and up to the current season, we're talking about a volume of 1,000 to 3,000 tons. We aim to increase our volumes and market share because we have very good seed quality and we always want to get the best seeds. We aim to increase our market share in open varieties and are also working with protected varieties. We have a protocol with European and British companies. We conduct research and test varieties. In the next 5 years, we might find varieties that are suitable for Egyptian conditions, promising for yield, storage, and disease resistance. We've set strict criteria for evaluating varieties in the Egyptian market. We're doing B2B business with companies and sharing our experiences. There might be B2B business with local or foreign companies, as we can work on potato seed production in Egypt by changing the production cycle. Or the criteria we use for evaluation, because we've set very strict criteria to determine whether a variety is good or bad. For the Egyptian market, at the same time, we're doing B2B business with some companies, and we're also sharing our long-standing experience. Potato seed production can be organized with local and foreign companies. We can work on potato seed production on a small scale in Egypt. In the next 5 years, we aim to start exporting to Arab, European, and Russian markets as golden seed.
Dr. Mahmoud, thank you so much for your time, valuable insights, and valuable contributions to our discussion.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good luck always. We're really happy to be with Potato News and with you, Victor. We know that you provide very important information. And you always keep us updated on global health news. I've always followed Potato News and read the news and articles you write, and they really add value for everyone working on a global level. Thank you very much. Thank you for your words. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.